Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking this video out. So I wanted to record an introduction to a Beyond Quantum Healing Hypnosis session I'm getting ready to share. I've been putting my intros together with the actual session recording. However, this recording is really long. It comes in at about 2 hours and almost 40 minutes. So this session was jam-packed with some really great information. We talk about New Earth, we talk about the shift, and we talk about this game that we are all currently playing. So much great information. And so this video, I just want to do sort of the Cliff Notes version. So if you're unable to spend that much time listening to the session, I'm going to share with you some of the amazing information that came in during the session in this video. And hopefully that will help a little bit if you don't have time to watch the full thing or to listen to the full video. So I worked with a client. This is actually her second session. Her name is Heather Morningstar. If you watched her first session or listened to her first session, the video is called Healing Colors, Healing Energy. I may have gotten that backwards. It could be Healing Energy, Healing Colors. But her first session was really incredible. Heather is a healer who works with color within the physical and the energetic bodies to assist with clearing and releasing density and trapped emotions and anything being held within the body. So very similar to what I do, but I do them in quantum healing hypnosis sessions, whereas she just does the work with you. She's a medium and she has the ability to see that energy and work to clear it. So I'm going to leave her information below. You'll hear her do a little bit of that work again in this video, but you can hear it mostly in the other session if you want to go check that out. Now, it's amazing because she actually does this energetic healing work on a past life version of herself, and takes the healing all the way back to when she was a child and even brings in healing to the mother. So it's just amazing to see the abilities that we have to do with this healing work through colors, through sound, through energy and vibration. It's really cool. So I just want to thank Heather for allowing me to share both of these sessions, because they're both really great. So this session, her second session, we did this sort of back to back. And what I've come to find is that when you come in for your first BQH session or quantum healing hypnosis session, you typically most clients tend to stay in past life versions. So, there's oftentimes some healing that needs to take place. There's something that you need to see, something that you need to release. Maybe you're carrying energy from a past life that was never cleared, healed, or released, and you're still experiencing that energetic in this life. So a lot of times the first session, we're going to look at past life experiences that are Earth related. Not always. I do have some that jump right into some galactic lives. But the second lifetime, or the second session, seems to open, at least with my clients, it opens you up into more of your galactic lives, which are my absolute favorite. So this one did not disappoint. Heather felt like she had a connection with Antares. I may be saying that wrong. It could be Antares. It is a massive star that is red in color, and it's known as a supergiant star, or a red supergiant. It's approximately 550 light years away from us. It's also called the Scorpion's Heart, and it resides in the Scorpio constellation. So I found a little bit of information about the star system and the beings that inhabit this star system on DebbieSolaris.com. I'll leave that link below as well in case you want to take a peek at it. But pretty much what Debbie has on her website matches up to what Heather was bringing through, the way that she saw herself as one of these Antares beings. So you can check that out because it's really fascinating. I've not had any interaction or anyone else come in as one of these types of beings. So this was my first time. I really enjoyed it. So in this session, we connect with this version of her, and we also connect in with the Arcturians. Now, the Arcturians stepped in her first session as well, so they are working with her with bringing her healing abilities back online, and they're also watching over her and making sure that she's not doing anything that she's not supposed to do yet, which was really funny. She had a group of Arcturians step in this session and gave her a little bit of a stern look. Actually, she had done a meditation where she was connecting in with a portal she found on her property, and during this meditation, as she's in this portal energy, this group of Arcturians showed up, and they sort of gave her the stern look and said, well, I don't know that they communicated with her, but it was almost as if, you're not supposed to be doing this. You're not ready to work with this type of energy. They talk a little bit about the new grid system, the one that is being overlaid on top of the old grid system. So that's very interesting. And during this session, we end up connecting with Sophia. Now, if you're not familiar with Sophia, Sophia is the consciousness of our Earth. So I know we think of Earth as just being a planet and that's all it is, but it is also a consciousness. It holds a being, just like all of us are beings. It holds a being, and that being is named Sophia. So that's how you can reference the Earth's consciousness. Laura Whitworth, who is also amazing and just a beautiful and wonderful quantum healer. I've had a session with her. It was so fun and fascinating. She also teaches a version of quantum healing hypnosis herself. I use her method in my own sessions. I use Beyond Quantum Healing, and I use her version of bringing a person into a scene. So she's incredible. But a lot of her sessions that she shares, she connects with that consciousness of Sophia. So this was my first time in a session connecting with it, and it was so beautiful. And we see the connection of Earth to humanity, and how we're just working together to expand. The more that Sophia expands her consciousness and shifts her energy, the more it assists us with our own healing and expansion, which in turn assists her. So it's just like we're sort of pushing and pulling each other and helping each other to grow and shift into higher states of consciousness. So lovely. So if you're interested in hearing that connection, Heather gets to connect directly with the energy of the Earth and just to feel the love that comes in. It's just really beautiful. I could feel it in my heart as well. So when you're listening to that session, set the intention to connect in with the energy of Sophia during that part, and just allow her love and her healing energy to move in and around your physical and energetic bodies and receive that healing, because you can absolutely connect in with the energy of the session. So another thing that we talk a lot about in this session is that this Earth life is a game, just a game that we're all here to play. I know that's kind of hard sometimes because I hear it a lot. I hear other practitioners and other people who are very connected and who are channelers talk about this game that we're playing. It's hard to think about it in that way because there's some pretty heavy things that have been going on in our reality, and I don't think it's easy to think that this is just a game. However, Heather brings through a lot of information about this being a game and how we're playing it, and she breaks it down in a way that helps us to understand it a little bit better. We talk about the shift that we're going through and how we could actually shift faster into the higher dimensions, into the new Earth, experience into releasing a lot of this heavy, dense energy that we've been in if we could just take our focus off of what is unfolding around us. Because the more energy and the more attention that we put on these things, the more we're keeping them active in the vibration, in the collective consciousness, and the more or the longer we're going to see things have to play out. I know it's hard not to. It's hard not to turn on the news, or it's hard not to see what's going on around us and get caught up in that. But they basically said in this session that where we're going is just a step away. It's not as far as we think. It's just a matter of us all shifting our focus off of what we don't want in our reality and moving it onto what we do. I know we hear that all the time with law of attraction, just focus on what you want, and that's, that will move you in that direction. And I think that's true, but you've got controllers on this planet that are doing everything in their power to hold us down and to keep us stuck in these lower frequencies. And we just see that with our the political things that are going on, with the medical things that are going on. There's just so much happening. But the guides do bring through that we are at the tail end of this. We have already shifted collectively as a group. We've already done the work. We're just watching it play out right now. So if you can watch it from a place of neutrality, if you can take the emotions out of what you're seeing and what we're experiencing and just allow it to play out, that is the best way for us to begin to shift into these higher states of consciousness and do it in a much quicker way. So they said, that you don't have to be affected by anything that's happening around you unless you choose to be. And I think that's really important. It's a choice. Are you choosing to watch the news and watch what's happening and allow that energy to affect you? Or can you simply observe it? Can you just watch it and observe it from a neutral place and go, that's interesting? So we do talk about, and I'm not going to call it the name because I know the YouTube censors. I don't want them to grab this video, but the jab. We talk a little bit about the jab. We talk about it from a very neutral perspective, not whether you should or whether you should not have it, but it's all a choice, and it's all based on what each individual person chooses to do. And the choice is always coming from your higher soul aspect. So it's not always necessarily from a human perspective or human choice, but you're connected with that higher aspect of your soul, and that higher aspect is guiding you through this. So if we can look at it that way, what they brought through was just hold respect for your fellow humans, regardless of what choice that they make. Make the right choice for you, but to let go of trying to control another person's situation or make them believe or see things like you do. This is hard for a lot of us who see a bigger picture perspective and understand there's more to what's playing out than what most people are aware of. You want to wake people up. You want them to see past the illusion. But everyone's on their own journey, and it just sometimes takes a little bit of time. So I feel like holding space for where another person is so much more powerful than trying to convince them to come your way or to see things from your perspective. Totally okay to share when you feel guided to, because that's important, but not in a way that makes you feel like you're not doing your job or you're letting someone down, or to feel fearful. I do have a lot of people that come to me in sessions and they worry about their friends and family members, and they are trying to convince and pull them in their direction. But what the guides have said, and this has been said in many, many sessions, is that creates resistance. It creates pushback. So the more you try to push your thoughts and your belief systems on another person who is not there, that is creating resistance between the two. And the more they're going to push back their own belief systems, because our belief systems are very strong and we hold on to them with all of our might, because that's what keeps us safe and protected, our belief systems. But they're just that. It's a belief. It's a belief that can be shifted at any time. And I think as we shift into higher states of consciousness and as the frequency on the planet raises, it's going to shift the perspective of many people, but it just takes time. So I love how they share so much about it being a game. I just listened to a recent video from Jason Estes, and if you aren't sure who he is, he's also amazing. I think I say everybody's amazing because they are. Amazing is my favorite word. But he is really incredible. He brings through some information that is even a little bit above what I can understand sometimes. I don't always get everything that he says, but deep in my heart, it does resonate. So I do listen, but he's also been talking about we're at the end of this game. We're just watching it play out. And then the more that energy comes up and releases, the easier it's going to be for us to move into this new world where we don't have all of this chaos energy and all of these crazy things happening. So it's very similar to a quantum healing hypnosis session. When you come in, we go back into a past life so we can take a look at why you're experiencing a certain challenge, a certain issue. And oftentimes just going back into that past life and seeing that experience, making that connection and understanding that that's the first time that you experienced that issue. So maybe you're holding a lot of anger in the body, and we go back to a lifetime where you first experienced that anger. Maybe something horrible happened to you in that lifetime and you're angry about it, and you died in that life and you held on to that energy because it was never healed, it was never processed properly, it was never released from the body. So you're bringing it back into this life in order to be resolved. So simply by going and seeing that life and making that connection and doing some healing work on it, you're able to release it, which will resolve the issue in this current life. It's the same thing that we're watching play out in front of us right now. All of this energy that's been hidden under the surface, all of the manipulation, we've been manipulated in so many ways, we've been controlled in so many ways. Humans are very easily controlled because we have such strong emotion. And if you can filter fear into the environment, which is done continuously, if you look at the news, it's all about keeping you fearful, keeping you worried, keeping you anxious about what's going to happen. We are easily controlled through those emotions. So what's happening now is all of these manipulative ways that we've been controlled, we're seeing them rise to the surface now, which is giving more and more people the ability to see through that illusion, because it really is an illusion. The fear is just an illusion. You don't have to feel the fear. You don't have to allow it into your experience or your environment. It's a choice. It's also something that we've just done for so long. It's like a program that's running. And until you get to the place where you can release that program and let go of that fear and know that you are safe and you're protected and you've got this amazing group of beings around you that are here to support and guide you, it's just a process. It's a process of letting it all go. But it's starting to surface quite quickly, and it seems overwhelming. Now, if you're one that doesn't pay attention to the news or you don't pay attention to what's going on, you may be like, nothing's bothering me. I'm just living my life, and that is fantastic. In this session, the guides say, just go outside. Just go outside and just, you're not going to see, it's only when you turn on the TV or you're listening to what other people say, you're tapped into social media, you're connecting in with that energy that you even know it exists. just go outside, be with your friends, have fun, do fun things, and you're not even going to pay attention to what's happening. So we're just watching the tail end of it play. We're watching the end of the game play out. And if you can be an observer and not a participator, then that's how we're going to shift even quicker. So another one of the interesting things that came through in this was we talked about living in trees. So I have to tell you, I had a session recently where we talked about my client wanted to know what New Earth was going to look like and would we be living in trees. Now that may sound crazy, but I got to tell you, I've heard this come up in multiple quantum healing sessions. And for me, I'm always like, what? What do you mean we're going to live in trees? Like, that makes zero sense to me. I love my home. I love my neighborhood. I can't imagine giving it up to go live in a tree. But that came through in a very recent quantum healing hypnosis session that I had with a client. And before the session, Heather and I were talking about it. So in the session, I hadn't even asked the questions, but the guides went ahead and brought the information through, which I thought was lovely. And what they said is, as we shift into these higher states of consciousness and let go of a lot of this density, a lot of this heavy energy that has been weighing us down and keeping us trapped in these lower frequencies, we're going to have a stronger connection to nature. And we're going to want to be in nature more than we've ever been before, because we can feel and we are connected with that amazing and powerful energy. That makes sense to me. They also said, what they said to me, or what I was getting, was I had the mindset of it's going to be like, it's going to be very primitive. So we're going to be living, like I can see it in my mind, like there's just wooden planks in the trees and, a few little things here and there, and maybe like a roof over our head. But they said you can be very technologically advanced and live in the trees. You're misconstruing that. You can have all the technology that you want, but you want to connect with nature. You want to live in the trees. Maybe you want to live on the water. You want to have a stronger connection. And so they said the houses are not going to go away. You'll still have your houses, but many people will want that stronger connection and don't think that it's going to be a primitive way of living. You will have more technology, you'll be more advanced, but you still will be able to connect in with nature and be in those trees. And they said, like right now, the way that we live, because we do have so much crime and so many things going on in this world. You live in your houses, you lock your doors, you lock your windows, you try to protect yourself from predators, from animal predators and from people predators. And when we move into that higher energetic, those things are not going to exist in our reality. So you're not going to need to lock yourself in a house or have all of that protection from the elements, because this reality that we're shifting into is going to be something so different. We can't even begin to wrap our heads around what that's going to look like. So I was very glad that they brought that through. It definitely shifted my perspective, and who knows, maybe one of these days I will be living amongst the trees as well. I can't see it, but who knows. We also talked about tuning forks and light healing. So colors, using colors and light for healing. And this is something that's very important to me. It's something I've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years now, is working with color and bringing different colors through the body, flushing the energy through the body, connecting with the earth. Lots of information about the energy coming up from the earth and coming down from source and connecting into the heart space. I actually have a few videos on my channel that teach you to do this if this is something that you're wanting to do. I think there's a few meditations where you can just follow along with the meditation and work with the energy. But I also have a few videos where I just teach you how I've learned to work with the energy. And this is so important because, again, we're in the process of releasing all of the density held in the body, all of those masses of energy that have been holding us back and holding us down. And we do this work in a quantum healing hypnosis session, but the guides often will recommend for the client to continue to do this work, because in a session, we're only going to get so much, but there's going to be more. There's always more that needs to release. There's only so much we can get in one session. So working with color and light is so important. But I asked about tuning forks, because tuning forks is something that I am starting to bring into my sessions. And I wanted to know which one is more powerful, which one should we be using. And what came through is both are very powerful, but they spoke about the different dimensions of the healing frequencies. So you've got the tuning forks, and that's a physical tuning fork. You can hold it in your hand, you can see it, touch it, you know it's there. And when you strike it, you can hear the frequency and you can feel the vibration, and that's very tangible. When we're working with color and light and energy within the body, that takes a little more trust and faith and practice, because it's not as tangible. You're not physically seeing it until you practice with it. And that's once you start to practice with it, you're going to feel it throughout the body much more. You can pull that energy into the body really quickly, and you can feel it all throughout your body, all throughout your cells. But they compared it to the tuning forks being more of a tangible third dimensional thing that we've had in this game that we've been playing with, and we know provides healing. And then you have the color and the light and the energy, which is more of a fifth dimensional way of healing the body and bringing in that energy to help you release the density. So both are equally as powerful. Both are amazing for healing, but just two different ways of looking at it. So I thought that was very fascinating. And I'm so thankful that they brought that information through. So I'm going to leave this video here, because I feel like I could keep going on and talking about all the amazing things that came through this video. I just wanted to again say thank you to my client for allowing me to share these two beautiful sessions with you. I'm going to leave her information below. If you feel guided, she is a fantastic person, and the healing work that she does is incredible. She can work with your energetic system to help clear. She can pinpoint where you're holding energy. She can see the meridians and the blocks and help you to clear different lines within your body. She can also help you clear your space. So if you feel like you have something going on with an entity, or maybe some lost souls that are hanging around your property, she can take a look at that for you, and she can help them to cross back over into the light and send them back into source or wherever they need to go on their journey. So there's so many things she can do. I'll leave her information below. If you want to email her and find out about her services, you can do that. And if you are interested in having a quantum healing hypnosis session, I'd love for you to come see me. These sessions are so much fun. I know I say that every time if you listen to me, but they really are. You never know what's going to come through, what you're going to be, where you're going to come from, or what you're going to experience. But you will experience so much healing in these sessions. It helps to clear out that density, which is assisting us in shifting into higher states of consciousness and moving more towards the fifth dimension that we're all hoping to get, this new earth experience that we want to get to as quickly as possible. This is a great way to do it, to allow yourself to receive all this energy and push a lot of that density out of the body, and just help you to feel your very best each and every day. So thank you so much for listening to this video, and please be sure to listen to Heather's session when it comes out. I'll be posting it soon, and let me know your thoughts, what you think about the session, and I hope to see you in a session soon. Talk to you in the next video.